for Doc's here, Wellness Wednesday. He's with the Bryant Wellness Institutes of Acadiana. We're having more fun than humans should be allowed to have. I feel like Rush Limbaugh, doesn't he say that? Okay, so what's going on?
Before break, we were discussing the fact that folks could enjoy their life much more if they just felt better. So just take away all the chronic diseases that people are developing, and let's just talk about quality of life. Like, what are you missing out on? What have you stopped doing that you used to be able to do because of some health problem? Because people, what happens to people is something in my office we call condition adaptation. What that means is they say things like, well, I don't go dancing anymore because I can't, but everything else is fine. And then the next month it's, well, I don't lift the grandkids anymore, but other than that, I'm fine. And then a little later, well, I don't go for my walks anymore, but other than that, I'm fine. And pretty soon they will have adapted themselves out of doing almost anything. They're just sort of existing. And we call that condition adaptation. So if that goes on and on.
Fantastic. Say it again.
Condition adaptation.
Condition adaptation.
So they condition their lives. They adapt their lives around their conditions. And before long, they're doing almost none of their hobbies or none of the things they used to enjoy when they were younger. And it has nothing to do with their age. It has to do with ignored or maybe not even knowing there's a solution for their problem that's natural and easy to do. So at the Bryant Wellness, we're all about how can we take an individual and bring them to their highest level of health using totally natural solutions. And that means to allow that patient, natural means to allow that patient to achieve their highest level of health. Now, that level is different for each individual. I mean, some folks might not be able to achieve the peak level of health that others, but how do we bring them to their individual peak level of health, whatever that may be? And so every patient is a little different. They have different conditions and issues, but it's different for everyone. But some folks may not be able to achieve as high of a peak level of health as others, but we at least want to get them to their peak level of health and keep them there. The alternative is to do nothing. So if you ignore a problem, usually it gets what? Better or worse?
Worse.
Right. So if your house is dirty and you ignore it, it gets worse. If your kids are doing bad in school and you ignore it, it gets worse. If your health is failing and you don't do anything about it, it's going to get worse most of the time. Might not be tomorrow, might not be the next day, but it's typically not going to get better unless you address it.
If your roof's leaking and you don't take care of it, pretty soon your whole house is going to cave. The roof's going to cave in.
Exactly. Yeah. And so let's take that analogy. If your roof is leaking and say it's dripping on your floor, medication would be put in a bucket under it to catch the water.
Right.
You know, more wellness type doing things to get healthier would be to actually patch the roof so the leak stops. Leak stops, you know. So our goal is to try to help as many people as possible in 2016, make 2016 their best year of health ever. We have the best technology available anywhere in the country at Bryant Wellness to help our patients achieve the highest level of health possible. We also have the greatest team put together that truly cares about each patient that walks in the door. And we do it totally natural without any judging or scolding of patients. You know, I'm your wellness coach. I'm not here to talk down to you or judge you or, you know, I'm here to try to help bring you up, try to help encourage you to and show you simple things that you can do in order to try to get healthier. And, you know, one of the things I always tell my patients, you know, I'll be presenting some different ideas to them. You don't have to do all these ideas. You know, if you say, Doc, that one thing I'm not interested in, that's up to you. You know, my job is to present all these things to you as your coach and let you decide which ones you think is going to work best for your lifestyle. But I at least...
You know, there's probably some people out there thinking right now, well, you know, Doc, that's fine and dandy, but that's too hard for me to do. Is it hard?
No, it's really not. It's not hard. It just takes somebody who's willing to do it with us. You know, I can't do it for them.
Right.
But yes, absolutely. Our patients all
what, Doc? You don't have a magic wand?
No, I don't.
Oh, Doc.
But listen, we do have a great team put together. I mean, the team that we have at Bryant Wellness is incredible. They amaze me every day. But as your wellness coach, my job is to support you and to help you finally begin to get on the pathway to living life to the fullest, having the energy to do things that you want to do, having the ability to stay active and functional, and finally being free of something that we call the slow creep of sickness and disease. because that's what happens. It's a little bit bad today. It's going to be a little bit worse next month. And you don't notice that it's getting worse. It's the slow creep.
You just created a new Cajun term. I'm gonna everywhere I go. When people have an illness or an ailment, I'm gonna say you got the slow creep.
That's
my
exactly,
God.
yeah.
Oh, thank you for making my day. Oh, you got the creep.
That's what it is. It's the slow creep of sickness and disease. And then what happens? They look up one day and something catastrophic happens to their health.
Yep.
Because they didn't recognize the slow creep of sickness and disease.
Like you said, though, I mean, think about a car or a bike or a washing machine. If it started to make noise or it didn't work right, you would have to call the repair guy out to fix it or get a new one, and your body is just a machine.
Right. And this is our purpose. Our purpose at the Bryant Clinics is to help as many people as possible reach their highest level of health using completely natural means. So here's what we're doing in December. In December, I'm going to donate a complete 1-hour wellness screening in my office worth $200 for anyone who donates $20 donation of a toy or canned foods to benefit the Faith House of Lafayette.
Wow.
Wow, that's great.
So what they can do is they can pledge to donate a $20 toy or $20 worth of non-perishable foods, and they will receive a $200 wellness screening with me to see if we can help them.
Now, when you say with me, that is with you.
Yes.
Okay.
With me. Yes. And so if you've been meaning to do something about your conditions and have been putting it off, now is the time. Now, listen, I realize you might be thinking to yourself, I can't go right now. It's crazy. It's Christmas time. We can schedule you after Christmas if you want, but we need the donations now before Christmas. We want to give these kids toys and food before Christmas. So you can call us and pledge your donation of $20 worth of food or toys, and you will be given a certificate worth $200 to come see me to see if I can solve your health problems once and for all. And listen, if I can't help you, I won't waste your time. But if I can, then we will sit down and discuss the pathway to you achieving your peak level of health. So we're going to do that all in December. All you have to do is call my office and pledge your donation and set up a time when you can come by, and we'll do a 1-hour wellness screening in my office for us to build your pathway to a greater health together. Pretty neat stuff. So you can call my office at 837-7174 and tell them you want to pledge a toy or a food and get your wellness screening with me. All right, it's 837-7174. Now, if the lines are busy, or if you get an answering machine, that means that our little 4 lines we have are full.
Hello?
Yeah, so just
say the number slowly, though.
I will. So leave your name on the machine, and we will call you right back. As soon as we get off the phone, we'll call you as soon as we possibly can from there. So it's 837-7174, and that's our Lafayette, Broussard area. Now, if you live in New Iberia, you can call them at 367-2567. That's 367-2567 if you're in that area. But if you're in this area and you want to come to my office, it's 837-7174. So I'm so excited about this in December. Listen, we're going to donate our time to help others. You get to help kids and women in need. You also get to give yourself the greatest gift you ever could, and that gift is the gift of good health.
Good health.
And if you don't want to do this for yourself, do this for your children or your family. Get yourself in good shape for them. People get something that we call mommy and daddy syndrome, where you take care of everything else in the house and put yourself last. Mm-hmm. And who's going to replace you if you let your health fail? Or who can do what you do in the household? Probably your job and the things you do aren't easily replaced in the household. So put your health first and do that for your family. If you don't want to do it for yourself, at least do it for your family. So we're going to donate our time to help others, and you get to help kids and women in need as well. It's going to be a fun little December. So the girls are standing by. Sorry for doing this to you guys this morning at the office, girls. But it's 837-7174 in Lafayette and 367-2567 in New Iberia. Call now.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Do people ever go in there and say, "So, Doc, tell us a little bit about CJ and Debbie Ray.
All the time.
And what do you do? Do you tell them nice things?
Yeah.
No, I want to know. It's the holiday season.
Usually what I tell them is I say, I don't even have time to get into that right now.
Probably the best thing you can say about all that. All right. Okay, so look, thanks, Doc.
All right.
Wellness Wednesday, Dr. Kevin Wellness, Bryant Wellness Institutes of Acadiana.